Hey, it's Corey Eubanks. I'm back again doing stunt stories. Very excited. I'm here actually in Texas now. First time doing stunt stories here in the great state of Texas. Now, this is where I live and have accumulated quite a few more stunt stories I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys. I'm here with my good friend Skylar. So if you hear another voice in the room, I'm not alone.
That is I.
That is I. That is Skylar. So yeah, welcome back. I hope you guys are going to enjoy listening to some more stories. And Skylar's been going through my resume and picking out some films I've actually forgotten that I've even worked on. So that's a lot of fun for me because it kind of like it's triggers your memory again. You go, oh yeah, I remember that, and let's talk about that. And then a little bit of part of you starts going, wait a minute, is this how I told the story last time? I just stick to the truth and it's going to be the same.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people nowadays they don't they like to hear the same story sometimes.
Hey, we've all been accused of watching the same movie more than once.
I've seen Payback at least 3 times.
I've seen Jaws at least five. You know what Jaws is, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg's movie. The fish movie.
The fish movie, yeah.
Huh.
You didn't work on Jaws, did you?
No, no. But it was funny because when I lived in California at the time, I had just started surfing. And we had a surf club at my junior high school. And Jaws comes out. And you're like, you got to be kidding me. And we got to go paddling out, pretending like you're not afraid.
Like, I'm not scared.
Not scared. It's a fake
It's
great
just
white shark.
It's a fish.
Yeah, just a big fish.
With teeth.
With teeth. Who's hungry. We'll be fine. So yeah, it was nerve wracking, man. It was just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
What a great movie, though. He's such a good storyteller, Steven Spielberg.
Have you met him?
No, I thought I was going to. I was working on a movie doubling Martin Short called Inner Space, and we were in San Francisco, and it was a Steven Spielberg production, I guess.
Right.
But with Dennis Quaid, and who I worked with here in Texas, by the way. And but anyway, yeah, no, I didn't meet Steven, but his name was on the call sheet. There was a day, yeah, he was here. Steven just left, and I'm like, what? Steven Spielberg was here, and I didn't get to see him, and
Right.
I would have loved to have met him.
That's awesome. What other directors have you worked with? I know you've worked with like Michael Bay, Ron Howard.
Yeah, quite a few. Tony Scott, the late Tony Scott, did a couple of projects with him. One called Deja Vu, another one called Beat the Devil. Did a couple of movies with John Woo, who was a lot of fun to work with.
That's the director from John Wick, right?
Is it?
Think it is, or like he's the one that does like all those action.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I think he did some movies with Jackie Chan, I believe. Worked with Steven Soderbergh. Yeah, as you mentioned, Michael Bay. Tim Burton did Tim Burton's very first movie, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Then we did Mars Attacks together with this freaking hair that was sticking straight up, lightning bolts going off.
I've seen the movie one time.
What movie?
Mars Attacks.
I never saw it.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, what? I feel like America, if Mars really attacked, we'd probably be a little bit more
prepared.
Yeah. At least now. The movie came out back in like what, the 90s, I think.
There was, yeah, I think it was. We were in Kansas. We were filming at night, and there was these incredible lightning storms going on. And there was this barn that I had to drive a car out of. And inside the barn, they had laced all of the pillars and all the posts with primer cord, 100-grain primer cord. And the primer cord, when that detonates, it just rips everything apart. Whatever it's near or touching just disintegrates it.
Right.
And then they had several 55-gallon drums of gasoline and some of diesel fuel. And they wanted me to be in this barn, drive and crash out of it, and then they were going to blow it up. So I'm like, so what you're telling me is you want me to be inside the barn and it's going to be hot, meaning that the bombs could be detonated.
Yeah, they could just go off.
I'm like, I don't think I'm going to do that. Not with these lightning storms going on and all that. So I was just something was telling me, no, that's not a good idea. So I didn't do that. But I never saw that movie. Never did end up seeing that. Who else? I worked with Mick G, really, really talented, more of a television director. I think he might have done some feature films, but oh my gosh, over 42 years, I'm probably forgetting some big names right now. Am I?
I didn't like fully look into most
Oh.
of the directors, but
Ron Howard did a couple of movies with Ron Howard. We did Far and Away together. We did Backdraft. He was a lot of fun to work with. He's a good storyteller.
yeah, I was working with his dad.
Rance was great. Rance Howard, met him on Far and Away. Rance and I ended up becoming writing partners together. Wrote a couple of screenplays that I actually directed. And which was funny with Rance is I was at this distribution company called PM Entertainment and had just done this movie called Forced to Kill that I wrote and starred in and produced. And one of those straight to video, you got a bad guy and try to catch him and beat him up sort of thing. And pretty much like every B film out there, you just, change the.
Hey, to me, that was an A film, man.
It was an A film.
That was an A film to me.
So I was in there with this company going over the foreign sales, because you're not there for the majority of the foreign sales, and you got to trust them. And well, how do we do on Spain, and how do we do on Italy, and how do we do on London and Japan, and they're throwing all these numbers at you, and I'm like, and just about that time, this movie Free Willy had come out, and the big whale and the kid, and George Shmee, their president. Shmee, and it was Rick Pepin, Joseph Marhe, so they were the P and the M, but George Shmee was the president, but they didn't think, well, we're going to add S for Shmee because you have PMS. That might be a weird name for a production company.
Maybe.
Yeah. So they didn't do that. So he was in his office and he was talking about the success of Free Willy. And he said to Rick and Joseph, he goes, one of those guys, you can't talk about George Shmee without imitating him. It's like Terry Leonard. You gotta talk like Terry Leonard.
Right.
Or George Shmee, he talked like, we need to do a movie about a small boy and a big animal. Like that. And I just kidding go, hey, you gotta see if Bigfoot's available. I know he's pretty popular around the world. Cody, that is a great idea. Do you have a Bigfoot story? I said, I'm working on one, yes. From that second, I was working on one. So it's not a lie. But when he asked me the question, I said, yes, I'm working on one because I sensed there was a possibility it could go somewhere, right? So he jumps up and goes to shut his door and tells his secretary, hold my calls, picks up his phone. Rick, Joseph, come down here. Cody, we're doing a Bigfoot movie and Cody is going to tell us about the story. I'm like, oh my God.
Oop.
So here come there's the three owners of the company sitting on the couch. And it was so bizarre. They all sat down and crossed their legs over each other and hung under the end of their knee. All exactly the same, like it was I don't know.
You're in the Matrix almost, like they just did it. You were like, whoa.
I'm like, you guys, what are you doing? Okay. So, Cody, tell us your story. I said, well, there's this small boy and this Bigfoot. And from there, I just literally pulled this story out of my ass and it had a subplot and had a love interest and had all these things coming together. And 3/4 of the way where I'm going, oh, I think I know how I could end this story. It's going to be really cool because I'll have it where Bigfoot's going to fight this bear and save the boy. And that's good. Corey, when could we start? Joseph, when do we need to start? Because what they were doing was they were finishing one film and they wanted to roll their company, their crew, into another production so they didn't lose everybody. Need to have a movie right away. Cody, can you make this movie for $1.5 million? I'm sure, yeah. I could change a few things in the script that I didn't even have. I could change a few things. Yeah, it was. I was still working on the story. I go, we could shave some things down. Can you shoot it in 24 days? I said, gosh darn, that might be tough. Maybe if I lose some of the night scenes, we can. And okay, fantastic. So June 15th it is. I'm like, that's 7 weeks. I had 7 weeks to write a screenplay, scout locations, cast, find Bigfoot, wherever he might be. So I leave And I remember the first person I called was my wife, my first wife, Tammy. I said, "You're not going to believe what happened." I tell her the story. Now I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I need help. Rance Howard. I'm calling Rance. I call, "Hey, Rance, it's Corey. Hey, Corey, how are you?" I said, "You're not going to believe what happened." I pulled this story out of my ass. He goes, "Corey, Ron and Clint and I have been Bigfoot fans for 50 years. You come on by the house." He lived in Toluca Lake, which is like maybe a 45-minute drive from where I was in Sun Valley. So I drive to his house. I walk in, and because he and I had written a stunt academy script together called Stunt Academy, about guys going to a stunt school.
Right.
And I walk in, and on the coffee table was a stack this thick of newspaper clippings. Bigfoot sighted in Sears parking lot. Bigfoot, marries alien woman. All these weird titles, and Bigfoot has two heads. And so that was the confirmation that they've been fans of Bigfoot forever. And so we sat down, and it cracked me up because here I have this great urgency to get this script done. I got 7 weeks, and Rance would write with a pencil, and I had my laptop computer, right? The brand new, it's like cutting edge, 1995. Ooh, he's got a laptop. And it's like, yeah, this is living in the future.
It's probably about as big as this thing, right?
It was huge, and you could hear it when it would warm up,
The fan in it.
Yeah, or something. And so we start working on it, and I'd be typing, but I didn't charge the battery. So about halfway through the first 2 pages, it goes dead, lose everything. I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah, that's okay, Corey. He gets up and walks across his office and pulls out one of those yellow legal tablets, and puts it on his desk and takes a pencil, trying to find the one with the longest lead on it, and that one to do. And he takes out his pocket knife and starts to sharpen the edge. And I'm thinking, "My God, let's go. We got it. Come on, Rance." And snap, he breaks off doggone it. They get another one, and
Oh my gosh.
So the only thing that was a saving grace was I can talk very fast, and I could put things out there like this, do this, that. But I would always over explain certain things, and Rance was very good at condensing.
Right.
I'd write a paragraph this long that might take me 45 minutes or an hour to get it all composed so it flowed and sounded impressive and visual, and trying to incorporate the sights and the sounds and the smells of the environment to put you there, right? And he's like, that's a lot of words, Corey. He could just say all of that with just a look.
A whole paragraph.
Yeah.
Just looking.
Just a look of confusion. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, so we end up writing this screenplay together. And I'll never forget when we had it done, and I had to give it to them for them to read, which they never read the whole thing, which was funny. They put up $1,500,000 for us to make this movie, and they never read the whole script. But I remember we were trying to figure out the title. What's a title for a Bigfoot movie? I don't know. I'm horrible with titles. And Rance goes, "Well, we could always just put a working title down for now. We'll just call it Bigfoot, The Unforgettable Encounter." I said, "Okay, because we're going to change it later." Yeah, never changed it. It never got changed.
Usually how it goes, though. The first choice is usually the best one,
Yeah. So that was a real. And the other thing is this: I had gone to his house in the morning because Ron was in town doing a movie called The Paper. With what's that? There's an actress that is, I forget who was in it. I forget who it was, but it was called The Paper. And he was doing the music score. And he was in town, and they had this earthquake in California. And so Ron didn't want to stay in his apartment, which was like on a 32nd floor, I think in Santa Monica. So he was staying at his dad's house where he grew up.
Right.
And so every morning I'd show up there, and there's Ron and Rance, and his mom, Jean, would bring us the breakfast and cantaloupe and eggs and stuff. And Rance and I'd be sitting there talking about the story. And Ron's sitting over here to my side, and he's privy to everything because for days we've been going over the story and writing the treatment and the subplot and the villain and the protagonist and the antagonist and all this. And then one day that afternoon after Ron had gone, and Rance and I changed something. I forget what it was. And I'll never forget, Ronnie was eating, and all of a sudden we talked about something. He goes, "What? Dad, you guys, you changed that." I'm like, "Well, yeah, Ron." He goes, "I can't do that. I can't just change this." I go, "Well, this is a Bigfoot movie, Ron. Maybe when you're a big time director, you could, do what you want." No, but one of the things I'll never forget, he gave me an idea that was brilliant, and I was like, I never would have thought of it. And it's one of the luxuries of working around some of these talented directors and DPs, director of photography, is hearing their thoughts and their creative ideas and how they look at things. And you go, wow, I never would have thought of that.
Right.
He asked me, because we did it on Far and Away. I worked hand in hand with Ron on photographing all of the fights with Tom Cruise, because I was Tom Cruise's stunt double. I choreographed 9 fights with Tom. And then as we're filming them in Billings, Montana, doing the Oklahoma land rush, but we were filming in Billings, Montana. I guess Oklahoma didn't look like Oklahoma, so we had to go to Montana. So, I'm working with Ron Howard hand in hand on this, and he's like asking me, "Corey, is this how you guys shoot fights?" I was like, "Wow, Ron's asking me if this." So now he asks me at the table in his kitchen, "How are you gonna fight shoot the fight with the Bigfoot when he jumps off the cliff and to save the boy, because this boy steps in a bear trap." This Zachary Ty Bryan was the actor I got from Home Improvements, and he's lost in the woods and he steps in a bear trap and he's screaming in agony and pain, and this bear smells him or whatever, or apparently the bear read the script and he knew he was supposed to go around this rock and see him, and then he's going to go and get the boy. But Bigfoot sees him from up on the cliff, and so he jumps off, he being Bigfoot, or Bigfoot stunt double, and lands in front of the bear, and there's this big fight. And so Ron's asking me, "How are you going to photograph that fight?" And I'm like, I don't know, Ron. I haven't really given it much thought yet because I'm still trying to finish the screenplay. We'll get to the bear fight, what do you call it? Eventually, we'll get to the freaking bear fight, but right now I got to finish the screenplay. And so he goes, "Well, can I make a suggestion?" And again, I was a little like, we got to go. I'm worried that Rance might break another pencil and it's going to take more time. And so I'm like, "What, Ron? What?" He goes, "Well, Corey, if just a suggestion, if it's like reading a book." I'm like, "What?" He goes, if you do it this way, it leaves it open for the imagination of the viewer. He goes, "If you have a long lens focused on the boy's face, and in the foreground you got the bear and you got the Bigfoot, soft, out of focus, obscured, going through frame." He goes, "The boy's face will tell you how gruesome and violent the fight is." I never would have thought of that, and I thought, wow, Ron, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. And didn't get to, because that day that we were shooting the fight, and the bear apparently didn't know that we had like a shooting schedule, that we had to get things done by a certain time.
Well, he's a superstar.
Yeah, he was a superstar bear, and he took off into the woods, was gone for 4 hours, and I had nothing to shoot. I'm panicking, right? And trying to dig up insert shots and whatnot we could shoot while they're trying to find the bear in the woods. And finally they do, and they bring the bear back, and now the sun's starting to set, and then my DP is like, "You got like 15 minutes to shoot this whole fight." And I'm like, "Handheld on your, everybody go handheld." Forgot all about the long lens with them obscured in frame and be focused on the boy's face. Didn't do any of that shit, nothing. Now we fast forward, I forget how many months, and we're actually at Orion's screening room, which was right across the street from Imagine Entertainment, which was Ron Howard and Brian Grazer's company. And we went across to watch the edit of the first film. And Rance comes, and Gene and Ron sits right behind me with Clint, because I had Clint in the movie too, because Ron asked me to. And all of a sudden I get tap on my shoulder. hey, I look back and it's Ron Howard. Hey, remember the idea I gave you about the long lens with the bear? The bear ran away, Ron. Okay, I didn't have a chance to use your idea. Sorry. uh, oh, but yeah, but Ron was the one who told me. He goes, man, it's a kiss of death if you're gonna do a movie with kids and animals. Kids and animals.
They have a mind of their own.
I learned my lesson on that one.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, because then I did another movie called Two Bits and Pepper with kids and animals. I'm a slow learner.
I think we all are. You were talking about the paper. Michael Keaton.
And
There was Marissa Tomei, Randy Quaid, Glenn Close.
Glenn Close, that's the name. Glenn Close. I couldn't remember her name.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know who that is anymore, but she was a big movie star back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Now working with Rance and stuff, y'all were both on Forced to Kill, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And he was like the antagonist, right? Like
Yes.
bad guy. How did Forced to Kill come to play? Like what brought that? Because I know Payback was Forced to Kill supposed to be kind of like a roll off of Payback, or was it supposed to be just a totally different story?
Totally different story. It was it was a time in those years that if you did a movie, VHS was videotape, right? Blockbuster. Drive your car, park in the parking lot, walk inside. There's 4 videos you want to get, and there's 3 other people looking at them, and you're like, no, don't. I want to take that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but back then, if you had a movie that had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it was at least 90 minutes long, it was worth $2 million. That was your foreign sales and all your domestic ancillary markets. You know, your pay-per-view, your cable, your syndicated television, all of those things would add up to about $2 million. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna. And so I just started thinking of an action film. I'd had established a relationship with Michael Ironside from Payback. He was in Forced to Kill. Don Swayze, who was in Payback, was in Forced to Kill. Didn't have Rance Howard in Payback, did I? No.
No, but I think no, Clint wasn't in it either.
No.
No, yeah, because it was Forced to Kills whenever it was you and Clint in the car.
Yes. So, I just, what was very interesting at the time, and it's kind of fun, it's hard to follow this story, but I had just done a theater commercial that was in over 2,000 screens in Southern California for the LA Times newspaper.
Wow.
No matter what movie you would go to see, it would open up with this minute, 20-second long called The Stuntman. And you could see it on YouTube. And they asked me to do this stunt, which was for no film or TV show, just to do this stunt. So I thought, wow, they're going to pay for it. They're going to pay for the location and 7 cameras and then the vehicle and the roll cage and the crew and et cetera, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. I'm like, maybe I can make a deal with them that I could actually use that footage for my movie. And so we made a deal. And that's what I got to do. So I'm like, I did the stunt flipping over this Chevy Blazer through a camping trailer, and then wrote that into the script on Forced to Kill, that would be the vehicle that I, in another vehicle, force into to knock Michael Ironside in to have him flip over, but it's really me. Prior to that, I did a pilot for a producer named Glenn Larson, who did the original Fall Guy, and he was a friend of my dad's, where I did a pipe ramp in this police vehicle. And what was that show called? It was for Glenn Larson, and Highwayman. I think it was called Highwayman. And I did this. I hate to use the word spectacular. I did a pipe ramp that didn't suck. It looked pretty freaking cool. It got lucky, and it did a couple flips. Actually, broke 2 of my ribs on that one. To this day, I can still feel my ribs are not right. But anyway, it's only because I'm brittle. I break easy. But so I did
years of being thrown around in a
Yeah.
vehicle can kind of come back on you, you know?
It'll catch up to you. So I flipped this yellow police car on Highwayman. I flipped this Blazer on the LA Times theater commercial. And now on Forced to Kill, I'm driving this gold coupe Cadillac that slams into me when I do the pipe ramp and fly through the air, and then slams into myself again. And which it was, I was supposed to be Michael Ironside, and that goes crashing and flipping. And then I go and I throw a 180 slide coming to a stop right in front of the Boar's Nest where we filmed the Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
And to me, I'll never forget the end of that day. It was a wrap. Everyone left and went home. And I went and I sat in the Boar's Nest where we used to always break for lunch on Dukes when I was like, 18, 19 years old. And I'm like, wow, now I'm actually producing a movie, even though it's straight to video. To me, it was a big deal. I'm like,
you did something not a lot of people do now.
Yeah, I'm producing a movie, and I'm here on the set where they used to give me a hard freaking time,
Almost kill you.
almost kill me because that was funny.
Funny. Comedy in the 80s and 90s
Yeah.
was funny.
We almost killed that guy.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It's like, did you get it on camera though?
Yeah.
Did we get it on camera?
But what would be fun someday is to sit with you and you watch it frame by frame, and I could show you, that's me there. Well, now that's the other, and that's me too. Well, how could you be chasing yourself? I go, it's called editing.
Yeah.
You edit those pieces together to create the illusion that you're chasing someone else, but it's really you.
I think my wife gets tired of me when we watch movies and stuff like that. I'm like Forced to Kill and Payback. I'd be like, oh, I bet he was in that vehicle, and now I bet he's in that vehicle. Oh, look, he flipped that one.
Yeah, it's funny. It's good times.
And you said the other day you were talking about editing and how y'all had to put sounds together and stuff like that. Because nowadays it's totally different. They could pretty much put mics on anybody and kind of go from there. But like we were watching The Outsiders the other night, and I was listening how it's like they were at the park and you could hear them talking, but then you could hear like a little bit of music, but the crickets were really loud, and it was just like one of those like I thought about how you were saying that, and like looking at how they put movies together back then. I just thought that was very interesting.
I'm a huge fan of post-production sound.
Yeah.
And I forget who said it to me once. She goes, yeah, take a shot, a handheld camera, and walk down a hallway. It's the sound. It's the music that sets the tone of it's scary. Is it sad? Is it happy? Is it victorious? Is it relief? What's all these different emotions it could be based on the sound? And then I got exposed to all of that. I've got my own sound effects editor. I got my own Foley artist. I've got my music composer. And then you have your production track that has the sound on it. And I had learned from this guy named Marty Brolin, who used to be the keyboard player on a band called 9 Inch Nails. And he was my music composer on Forced to Kill.
Oh, nice.
But also was doing my sound effects editing for me. And he was the one that convinced me to put a 12-gauge shotgun blast right in between two vehicles that are crashing together with a breaking bottle. So he would take those different elements, the breaking glass, two pieces of metal into each other.
Right.
And then right in the middle, he put a 12-gauge outdoor muzzle away from Mike shotgun blast. And I'm like, damn, that sounds just like a car. But we've been programmed that gunshots sound like they do, but they really don't.
Right.
In real life, right? You're like, where's the over the canyon? No, it's pop.
Yeah.
Pop. It's boring, right?
Right. Looks like the silencers, how like they say, like on the movies when they shoot them and it's like or whatever, but in real life it's nothing like that,
Yeah. So and then also,
are you telling me movies are fake?
a little bit.
Oh man.
A little bit are not as real as we think. Have you seen any of the Fast and Furious movies?
Those are all real 100%.
Yeah,
Don't
when
lie
the
to
cars
me.
are floating through the air, or Vin Diesel jumps up when the grass. Anyway, it's
And he picked up the car with one arm.
Oh yeah, he could do that.
Yeah.
He goes to the gym.
You know why? Family.
Family. Gotta do it for the family.
Family.
That was a guy I didn't like.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else. Here's what's fun for me. I'm 62 years old. I'll be 63 in a few months, and I'm at the backside of my stunt career. So I really don't give a shit what I say as long as it's the truth. I'm not going to lie or take anything away from anybody. There's some people I didn't really care for in the industry, but I'm not going to say anything that's not truthful. But Vin Diesel was one of those guys. I'm like, just an ass, just an ass. Paul Walker, one of the nicest guys you ever would have met ever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, had not one good thing to say about Vin Diesel. That's unfortunate, but
Yeah, in some of your old pods, you'd say, "If I don't have nothing nice to say, I'm not going to say nothing."
yeah,
I think you should change that this season.
yeah. You know,
What are they going to hurt the
yeah.
stunt man, the guy that did their stunts? Like, come on, man.
So yeah, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I hate that saying.
Yeah. We're not going to say nothing nice today.
No.
But tomorrow.
Maybe, yeah.
Now you came to Stephenville because your daughters are like in the rodeo and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, of all places, Stephenville, Texas.
Yep. The cowboy capital of the world.
That's right.
You know Bob Tallman,
I don't think
rodeo
so.
announcer,
Mm-mm.
very famous guy. He and my dad used to announce the national finals together when it was
Right.
in Oklahoma City, and he always had that radio. The cowboy capital of the world, you know.
And we're back today.
Yeah. The cowboy capital. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't honestly didn't know. I've done a lot of films and TV shows here in Texas. The original Walker Texas Ranger with Chuck Norris. I did a film with Sam Elliott called Gone to Texas. Never worked on Dallas. And I forget I did something else here. Some of the Transformers movies we shot in Tyler, Texas. Love Texas. And just hate California. Wanted to get out of there. A bunch of freaks. It's like a circus show, and just everything just as stupid as you can make it, but just make it all in uppercasing like a 24 font of just stupidity. And that's California's. That's what we're gonna do. Hey, what's the worst decision we can make? Let's do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to get my kids. Let's get out of here. I was thinking Tennessee, Montana, Utah, just anywhere out of. And my girl's like, Dad, what about? I go, love Texas. I'm just not. Houston's a little humid for me. So where else? And they go, Dad, what about Stephenville, Texas? Who's Steven? What do you mean? This guy? No, Dad, it's a place. I'm like, oh. So I flew out here by myself. Just got a hold of a realtor. Trig Moore is his name. Nice man. Took me around, showed me places. Everybody was so freaking nice. I almost got suspicious. Like, nah, you don't walk to the Allsup. Did I say it right? Allsup. Yeah. And go into the and have some young man open the door for you and say, here you go, sir. I'm like, yeah.
Take my money.
Yeah, you're LA. I thought you were going to stab me. And it's all genuine. It's all true. And the morals. And when I meet my daughter's friends, and it's yes, sir, no, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, and come in and shake your hand and look in the eye. And I'm like, this is nothing like California. This is how I want my kids to grow up. So we moved here. And a little bit of me was like, well, as long as there's an airport, I'm good. Because I've worked all over the world, everywhere. Spain, London, Hong Kong, Dubai. Where? Dubai, yeah. All over the place. As long as there's an airport, I'm good. And then I move here, and all of a sudden, Taylor Sheridan's doing all these projects here. And I'm like staying really busy. This guy, Wade Allen, who's his second unit director, stunt coordinator, very cool, talented guy, like with 3 Emmys, starts, Corey's here. Great. Let's hire Corey. And so I was working on Landman, and I was working on Bass Reeves, and I was working on The Lioness, and going, I'm driving like 45 minutes from my house to get to the location. That was unheard of in LA, to drive 45 minutes to get anywywhere.
It's like minutes was like a whole day in California.
Oh, no, you go like 3 off ramps. On the free in 45 minutes. You're like, yeah, I'm making good progress right now. Yeah, so it's been great. It's been really good. Took a little getting used to the weather.
Yeah.
It's hot and then it freezes, and then it's hot again. So, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah. You working on anything down here in Texas now?
No, everything's pretty much on hiatus right now until probably February or March, I think, and then they're going to start back up, I think, with Lioness or Landman. But no, and that's the thing that's so The only thing consistent about being a stunt man is the inconsistency. That's the only thing that's always depend on it. It's always nothing, and then all of a sudden 5 or 6 shows.
Right.
Busy, 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 and then crickets. Like, you're checking your cell phone. Is the battery dead? Because no one's called me in a long time. And it's taken some getting used to. There's no norm to how much money you make on a consistent monthly. I do not know where my next job is as we sit here and speak.
Right.
And then the phone can ring as we're here. And they say, hey, can you come to Seattle for 5 months? So it's weird.
If you went to Seattle for 5 months, I'd be like, well, got to pause the podcast.
Yeah.
No, we could still do it. We could just do it like Zoom and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I got this, so that way, whenever you if you have your old friends on and stuff like that, you could probably look at them through that one and see them, and then we could just record everything. So
Dude, that'd be so cool.
that, or I might actually have a monitor, like a computer monitor that's like a 14, 15 inch. That'll probably be right here in front of you,
Yeah.
so you can see it.
Before I came here, I could even show you real quick on my phone who called me. And we had a conversation, recent call. Who's the third one down? What's his name?
Danny Winans.
Danny Winans. He just called me to wish me a happy Christmas or Merry Christmas, however you say it. He and I just worked on the Landman show. Did you see the one when the tanker came over the hill and crashed through the plane in the van and it all blew up?
I haven't watched Landman yet. We were finishing.
Such a good freaking story. Billy Bob Thornton. I did a stunt for him on a show called Eagle Eye. But Danny was driving this Peterbilt oil tanker. And I come down the road. This airplane lands on the highway, and I drive this van off this dirt road to come up and sneak underneath the wing and back up. So we're going to unload these drugs. Were we loading them or unloading them? Oh, okay. So we're unloading the drugs. You see how I pay attention?
Fly the plane?
No.
Oh, come on.
I was driving the van. And then Danny's going to come over this hill in this semi truck pulling an oil tanker. That they had taken 6 trench plates, those thick steel plates, right? They're like 2,000 pounds apiece, and bolted them onto the side of this semi truck at the back and towards the front. And he's got a full roll cage inside. So he's going to go crash through my van and the airplane, which they're going to just explode, just, big boom. And then go off in this little ditch and lay this truck and trailer on its side. And it was one of those ditches that wasn't quite deep enough or steep enough, and it was always questionable. And I remember saying to him, I said, Danny, we might want to put some shape charges on those tires. So when you go and you pop those, you're going to drop 10 inches, and that's going to help transfer the weight. And he said, no, I think we're going to be good, Corey. I think. And there's a lot of things that stunt guys get put into situations where you're rehearsing on camera.
Right.
You're doing something that's never been done at that location with this vehicle on this ramp, and no one with trench plates. We don't even. It's called the swag method in the stunt business. It's the scientific wild ass guess. The swag method is used, and he comes in there and he crank. And when he went, it didn't quite get over, and it just started plowing in the dirt, and it came to a stop. And Taylor Sheridan loved it. He loved the explosion. He loved everything. I think Taylor had someplace he had to go that afternoon or something, because we had another 18-wheeler up there with another oil tanker on it with take 2. We had take 2 up the street.
Yeah.
And I felt so frustrated for Danny. We had this conversation before I came here tonight. He's still upset about it, because it's like, you get one shot at something and you go, okay, well, you know what? Okay, it didn't work, but now I got a feel for it. I go, yeah, in the movie business, they call that a rehearsal. You had your rehearsal on film. Now, and the man's so talented. He's so gifted. He's such a talented motorcycles and cars and everything. Forget this football player on Broken Arrow that he doubled. Bosworth, or Brian Bosworth, I think. Is that it? He was his stunt double. But but Danny didn't get a chance to jump in that other tractor trailer and go do take two and flip it over and get out like a rock star and go, yeah, I did. He got robbed of that. And I really, and so he cried. He called earlier tonight to cry to me about it again. And I'm like, I feel your pain, brother. I said, but you know what? The fact of the matter is, from now until the end of time, I'm going to make fun of you about that.
That's a good friend right there. That's a great friend.
Keep bringing it up. Yeah, remember that time you screwed up in Texas and you couldn't put the.
West Texans are pretty good about that. We're pretty good about bringing up something and be like, hey, you remember that one time?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I thought we agreed never to talk about that. That was yesterday.
Speaking of phone calls and stuff, I did have somebody ask me a question one time when you were on my podcast, or our podcast, sorry. He was like, ask him who's the most famous person in his phone.
The most famous person in my phone.
And this is when you say your wife.
No, what's her name again? You know what? Not just because we're related, but I'd say my dad.
Yeah.
Bob Eubanks.
Yeah, that's.
You know, I love to brag about this man. You know, he's, you know, and then people, he did the Newlywed Game. I go, well, and he won 16 Emmys for doing the Rose Parade for 33 years.
And raised you.
Yeah. I go, and he was the #1 radio disc jockey on KRLA and has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There's that too. And he produced the very first Beatles concert ever in the United States at the Hollywood Bowl in 1964. All they want to talk about. Well, what about that question they asked?
Yeah.
Where's the most unusual place you've ever made whoopee? And she said, well, that'd be in the butt, Bob. I'm like, okay, yeah. And he also produced these. He managed Merle Haggard for 9 years. And he had a heck of a career. He's done a lot. So yeah, he's probably my most famous. That and Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. We don't worry about him. Is your dad still alive?
Yes, he is. He is.
How old is he?
We're going to go. My sister and I leave on the 12th to go visit him. He is turning 86 years old. His birthday. What date is Elvis's birthday? January 8th, 7th. It's either the day before or the day after Elvis Presley's birthday. You think I should remember? It is. Is it the 8th?
January 8th, 1935.
Yeah, so my dad is the 7th. Okay. We're going to fly in there to see him on the 12th. And yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good.
That's awesome.
You know, he raised me. He's my stepdad.
Yeah.
People don't know that. They think, oh yeah, you look just like your dad. I go, yeah, that's a coincidence.
Like, that's crazy because I don't know.
Yeah, because he's not a blood relation. He and my mom and my biological father all owned this company called Concert Express, and they used to produce these concerts, like 160 of them. Elton John, Fleetwood Mac, the Beach Boys, Chicago, all these things. And then my dad's true love was country music, so he started managing in Merle Haggard, had the buses and stuff and go touring and stuff. But yeah, he and Mickey and then they owned these two nightclubs called the Cinnamon Cinder. One was in Long Beach, one was in North Hollywood. And when the Beatles came into town from England, they needed a place to rehearse and they didn't have a place. And my dad's like, yeah, you can come by we have a place. We have a nightclub. You could come rehearse there. So imagine being like, in your teens and you walk into this bar and there's this band they talk funny and you're like, these guys suck. No, those are the Beatles. They're going to become famous someday. Well, my mom, who? The Bugs?
Bugs?
Yeah, no, the
little things that crawl on the ground?
Like the cars? No.
Yeah, the Volkswagen?
Yeah, that's what it is. So they had this napkin and my mom just had a hunch. These guys are going to be famous. So she had them all sign it. This napkin. Well, that night, someone had taken a glass and put the glass on the edge and it just kind of smeared John Lennon's name, kind of faded it out, which I thought was kind of, ooh, he was the first one to go, Coincidence, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, now, this little segment I think we should do towards the end is like kind of pull up some old footage of you doing stunts and stuff and have you kind of talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, now, just if we see something that's maybe not me, but it looks really super cool. Can I lie and just say, yeah, that was
Corey, this is your podcast. You can say and do
That
whatever
was
you
me.
want.
Yeah. Or the no, that's not me. I'm just saying if I got hired to do that stunt, that's how I would do it.
Yeah. You're like, that would have been me.
Would have been me. I would have done it better. This takes me back to Dukes of Hazzard immediately. Is that what that is? The blue car? Yeah. Dukes of Hazzard. Boom. Oh my gosh, this is the pond jump. I almost died.
Yeah, and I remember listening
you
to
found
this.
it.
Yep. And I remember listening to the episode, and you were talking about how was this the one where you were sitting in there and you had the tank, but you weren't going to use it, but then you couldn't get your seatbelt off.
Yes.
And then that's when it was all muddy and stuff when you hit it too.
Yes. Okay. The backstory on this, real quick, is it was Friday night. We're done. I'm like wrapped. That means you go home.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who was supposed to do the jump, Jerry Summers, who's no longer with us, he was James Best's driving double the majority of the time. It was him and a guy named Bob Orson. And somebody had been in that pond before and their nose got infected and their ears got infected. And Jerry Summers was like, fuck it. I don't want to go in that pond. Get Corey to do it. So I didn't think I was going to do this. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, so my lap belts were not in, it was Jerry Summers equipment. I always put my lap belts in where my release is, where my belt tongue is. It's always, I go with my right because it's closest to the door if someone has to reach in and get it. And you just know if you're stunned and the vehicle's on fire and you need to get out, you know where it is. Well, I also had to get dressed full figure as James Best. That means the boots, the belt, the gun belt, and the hat and all that stuff. And the story was he jumps into the lake, it sinks, and then they want me to pop up to the surface and swim to the shore. That's the shot. So they cut big holes in the floorboard and the passenger side, and behind me, passenger side and driver's side, had all the windows down, and they wanted me to land and sink right away. So Richie Birch, who is the camera car driver, comes up to me and says, "Are you a certified diver?" I said, "No, I surf, but I'm not." No. Do you have a certification to be a scuba diver? I said, "No." "Do you know how to use a regulator?" I go, "I don't even know what one looks like." So he goes and brings me, he goes, "This is called a pony tank. You've got 90 minutes of air, or 3 minutes. 3 minutes of air. That's what it was. There's
like 90 minutes. You'd be under there for a minute.
Yeah, I'd be down there for a long time.
You'd come down there.
3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes of air. He goes, "This is a regulator. Before you put it in your mouth, you're going to have to clear it." He goes, "Matter of fact, we'll just have it in your mouth. Use it like a mouthpiece." I said, "Okay." So I put it in. We cranked it open. I could breathe. I'm like, "Oh, okay, this isn't so tough, you know." So I get the harness on and the 5-point harness and my lap belt. Oh shit, it's this way. It's reversed from how I'm used to. Trying to get it when the gun belt's in the way and all that stuff. And we're losing our sunlight. We got to go. Hurry. How long is I? So I go to do a rehearsal coming over this hill to come to the mini ramps. Now, the mini ramps are 2 separate jump ramps that are 18 inches wide per tire. And they're only like 2 foot high. And when I came over for camera to line up with it, it stirred up all of this dust. And they thought, that's too much dust. We can't have it. All right, we're going to bring George Ogburn, bring the water truck through and wet this down. Corey, go back to number 1. We're going to go. So I drove up to number 1, turned around, got ready, got my regulator in. "Are you ready to go?" "I'm ready." Because I remember someone was standing next to me because I didn't want to take my walkie-talkie with me because I was going to get in the water. So they call action. I come up over the hill. And I'm still at that point in my career where I got to really prove myself that I'm going to freaking go for it. You know, so I put my foot in it. Well, I got on that mud and it started to fishtail because I was accelerating. And I went, whoa. And I was trying to go straight. And I went off the ramp like you saw, kind of at an angle. And when I hit the water, it just slapped me and ripped the regulator out of my mouth and kind of hurt. Kind of felt like Mike Tyson had punched me. And not like how he punched Jake Paul, but with some force behind it. And there we sunk. And I'm like, I can't even see my hands. The water was so black and thick and disgusting. I couldn't even like see my hands. And I kept going, instinctively going down to try to find my lap belt. And I'm all of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit, I'm underwater. And I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. It's the first time ever I would say in my life I really experienced what it's like to panic. And to the point like I thought maybe I could rip the seatbelt loose. It's 3 inches of nylon webbing. It's rated at 5,700 pounds. It's not going to break. And I'm like, okay, wait, my regulator. Where's my regulator? I can't find. And I remember I felt the bottle, and I put my fingers around the hose and went to the end of the. It's probably not called a hose. It's probably called a line or something technical. I called it a regulator hose.
Hose, yeah.
Yeah. And then I cleared it. I said, okay, you don't have 90 minutes, Corey. You got 3. And I'm like, breathing. Okay. And I finally realized, wait a minute, I didn't put my lap belt in. Somebody else did. Maybe it's on this side. Oh, it is. Chink, got it loose. Went to go out the window and felt mud. So immediately my mind envisioned this bottom of the lake or pond. And I was like this. So I couldn't get out. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to drown. I'm going to die here. I know we had 2 scuba divers on shore that were going to come in. How are they going to see me? I can't even see my hands in front of my face. And then I realized that the bubbles were going that way. And then you have that aha moment, like, oh, that's not up, that's up.
Right.
And got my lap belt off and swam up and got up and came up to the shore. Like, I thought they'd be happy. And Paul Baxley, who was the second unit director, one of the most intense men on the face of the earth, used to be, passed away. He's like, what the hell took you so long? We had to cut cameras. I said, I'm sorry, sir. I was busy drowning and didn't get a chance to come up here in time. Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, sorry, sir. I was drowning in the mud puddle.
In that video too, like whenever you hit the water, if you look real closely, you can kind of see your head like hit or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it kind of like whipped you a little bit, like you were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then it just started going down.
It caught me off guard. Yeah, that was in slow motion too. But
Yeah.
that footage I just saw. But you showed me of it going in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's at 48 frames. That was the speed back then on everything's 48 frames. Yeah, because you.
Oh yeah, because whenever they hit like the jumps and they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
All going slow. Yeah.
Do you know one of the reasons they would do that was because the Dixie, is it the Dixie horn, was longer than the time if you just jump normal.
Yeah.
You jump, land.
By the time you jump, you'd be like,
Yeah. We gotta link.
gotta figure something out here.
You know what real quick on that, General Lee, Paul Picard, when they were developing the show and talking about the car, very little thought went into that. Get a 69 Charger, paint it. It's a red, actually. It's a Corvette red. It's not an orange, but it looks orange. Paint that and put a flag on the top and put an 01 on the side and call it a day.
It's just that simple. That's crazy.
Yeah, just throw a antenna on the back and put a push bar on the front. Anything else? No, I think that'll do it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Oh, give him a radio on the side. Yeah, not much
Make
thought.
sure you can't open the door.
Yeah, yeah. Be welded.
Could you
shut.
open the door?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So they were just jumping in for fun.
I'll have to tell you the story probably at another time because it's lengthy. About when I stole the General Lee when I was in high school. Do you know about this?
Yes, sir.
I told you about that.
Well, no, I listened to the pod.
Yeah.
You and your buddy.
That's when I confirmed that the doors were not welded shut.
Yeah, because you were like,
Yeah.
what?
It opened.
Yeah.
But you know what? That was part of, and you never had to slide across the hood. That was kind of superfluous. You could have just gone around, but looked good.
You know, the other day I was leaving work and the way my truck was parked, I was like, kind of like, because it's kind of like on a hill, so I was like running to it, and then I looked at the hood and I was like, yeah, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, easy.
Truck, that's awfully high, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm half Mexican, you know, we can jump.
You could jump.
I got one more video for you.
Okay. This is fun. Who's that punk kid? Oh, I know where that is. That's in Bristol, Tennessee, at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Yeah.
Well,
Little jump there.
I don't think there's any audio with it. Nope.
Yeah,
You were talking about how, like, you know, how y'all put the roll cage in it, and then how you would put weight in the back in the trunk, so that way you try to get it to level out when you land or jumped and stuff like that. And
that was at the request of the executive producers of the show because people were writing in saying that they could see the car was buckling because it's a unibody. It doesn't have a frame.
right.
And they would see this massive damage to it because it was nosing in. And so they're like, well, how do we make the car land flat? Well, we could put weight in the trunk and we could do that. So then when you're doing that, you're landing flat, there's like no suspension and we're braking backs. And they're like, oh, now the viewers at home are happy because You guys are breaking your backs. No, because it doesn't look like it's damaging the car. And so, okay. So that's where that whole philosophy came from. The hey, let's put weight in the trunk. Became very dangerous. There's another one. I forget, is this 2004? I think it was 2005 where the weights come out of the trunk. Did you see that?
I haven't seen that video yet. I'll find that one for sure. I'll find it.
Only time Tommy Strumento, who was the mechanic on Dukes of Hazzard, and those are his jump ramps, thought, I'll put a GoPro underneath watching Corey come toward us, looking at him, and he's going to go right over the top of us. And that's when the weights shot through the trunk, went through the surface of the jump ramps, which are 3 layers of 3/4-inch plywood. Looked like shotguns just went and blew huge holes in the wood because these massive 45-pound lead weights just went through the floor of the trunk and through the 3 sheets of plywood. So when I hit that with 450 pounds of weight and left with nothing, it just flipped all the way over and it landed on its windshield and then slid for a little bit and then caught on fire. That was the same thing in Bristol Motor Speedway. It was either 2004 or 2005.
Here's one that says generally jump at Mopar National Trail Raceway.
Yeah, it would be. It's Bristol Motor Speedway. It's either, I think it's 2000 and.
Golly.
I think it's 2005. Yeah, because we did the first one was in, I think, Covington or Conyers, Georgia, and then we went to Bristol, and then we went back to Bristol again, and then we went to Nashville Motor Music Speedway in 2006. So it's either 2004 or 2005 that it flipped over like that.
This wasn't you, was it?
No, that's not.
You seen that one?
Oh yeah, that's a friend of mine, Raymond Kahn, does those. He was there just as a fan when I jumped the General Lee on its 25th anniversary, and I remember him saying to me, he says, "Someday I'm gonna do what you're doing."
Right.
And now he does. He jumps the General Lee. He builds them. That's actually a Crown Vic that they strip the whole body off of and make it look like a General Lee by putting on an exterior shell. You're still trying to find it, huh? You're determined.
I'm determined.
It's a great shot. The shot underneath where the weights come through the trunk is just, it's crazy. You don't know that it has that much force. Yeah, this might be it. I think this might be the one. And let's see. What does it doesn't say what year it is. Is this it? I don't know. They all look the same. Nope, that's not it. That's the one so what year is this one? Is that 2004? I
remember that. Should get used to the computer.
I remember one time this man came up to me with his son who was like 5 years old, and he was crying, and he was mad at me because I didn't honk the horn. He said, "My son's crying because you didn't honk the horn." I said, "Sir, there's no horn in the car. They do that in post-production. It's
right.
They
don't actually.
Yeah, I didn't honk the horn for you. So you can't find it?
Not yet. I'll find it eventually.
Yeah, it is. It's really worth seeing because it's pretty cool.
2005.
Yeah, that's
for Eubanks Duke Fest 2005 General Lee jump.
Yeah, that might be it. Then I did the jump for MTV to promote the Dukes of Hazzard movie. That was a cool deal because we went right back to the same spot where they did the very, very first General Lee jump. And I got to jump a little bit further than the guy who did it. It was one of those things.
Look at you.
How come that guy's got no gray hair? Now
that's experience right there. All that's just what does my dad say? He calls it a platinum because he goes fast.
I had been working on Transformers, shooting all nights, and then flew from Alamogordo, New Mexico, here to do this. Excuse me, that wasn't. That was Nashville. That was Nashville. Afterwards, just do the stunt now and go home.
You can hear yourself.
If for some reason I get upside down and I'm not
Yeah, I hear me
responsive,
all
I
the
want
time.
everybody to flip the
It's
car back
kinda-
up on its wheels for me.
No, I'm not going to go anywhere.
Who's
was
that
just
guy?
doing this a year ago. That guy is named Jamie Smith.
Fine.
And, yeah, here, yep, watch. Boom, boom.
What is it like to
Wait
do
till
a
you
jump and
wait
come
till you
down
see
on
the
this
shot. There's
thing?
Tommy Sermento. He's the
Course,
guy who
well,
builds
it's
the
kinda
roll
like sitting
cages.
in
He was the
your,
guy who was the mechanic on Dukes.
Your chair in a living
Wait till you
room,
see the
and
angle
just
underneath
drop it out a
the
two-story window and land
jump
flat.
ramps where you see the weight. And then look at it, catches fire.
I think that was probably one of his easier landings, although it was more violent.
God
We just
dang,
did,
dude.
A couple other ones were landed.
did a little damage to the
shorter
car.
And stuff where, you know,
They got
I think he
16
was a lot
more.
more tender
Yeah.
than that. But he definitely used up the
Where's
body
the
on
angle
that
from
car.
underneath? There's Al Wyatt Jr. in the blonde. Double John Schneider driving the generally more than anybody. We had like 35,000 people there at this event. It was like, people like, wow, this is really starting to. That guy right there drove the generally more than anybody. Right here, Al Wyatt Jr. He passed away.
He's not doing it anymore.
He used to double Gary Busey.
I don't need my heart to get going.
His father was a
Let's see it.
stunt man. Look at the weight. Look at this holes.
Golly.
Boom. Did you see that shot?
Yeah.
Is there a way you could slow it up and look at it, or no?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, come on.
It's you go what?
Well, as soon as we make it and we don't have to, I can pay for YouTube Premium and we don't have to see commercials no more.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, let's watch it again.
But you
Playback
could
speed. We'll slow it down to 25.
yeah, I think it's coming up right after this. Because I felt it when it hits. There's a certain feel, and I thought, boom! Just to see that hole, see the
Yeah,
whole.
dude, it literally looks like somebody went up there with a shotgun and was just like, boom!
Yeah, those are all the weights coming out. And then if you watch it from the side angle, those weights, some of them tail chase me. They're like, well, we're gonna follow you. But anyway, yeah, that.
Oh yeah, you see him right behind you.
I thought it was in the wider shot. Where's the wider shot that we had? You saw that. There. Yeah, go back to that wide one.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, there he's lacing up that jump vest. You got to wear it, so you got to make it really tight so it doesn't slip, and it's very uncomfortable. See the weights?
Yeah,
beneath
right behind you.
Yeah, each one of those weigh 45 pounds. Even one of them hit the bottom of the car.
Well, it's a good thing they stayed right there and not like keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy how far you slid.
Yeah, that was so that was the second time we had been there, and then the attendance was getting so big. That's when Nashville went to the producers of the Dukes Fest and said, hey, we'll give you $50,000 if you guys will come do this here in Nashville. And over that 2 days, 118,000 people purchased tickets and walked through the gate.
Golly.
$30 a head. So if you do the math, that's like $500. No, it's like $3 million. If you do 118,000 times 30, so you carry the one, add that. Yeah, is that 3 million?
Yeah, $3,540,000.
Yeah, that.
Just a small number.
Yeah. In a couple of days.
And that was in what, 2005, six?
2006. That's the last time I jumped the General Lee. Was it 2006?
Was that the last time you were in the General Lee?
No.
Okay, so you've been in it. When was the last time you were in it?
Oh gosh. I did went up to Raymond Kahn, the guy you just saw did the jump.
Mhm.
He had me come up there to Ohio, and they reunited me with a car. I actually have the video on my TikTok page. It was car number 28, which was my car on the Dukes. As I say, my car. Everybody kind of adopted their favorite vehicle. Like 08 was Al Wyatt Jr.'s car. You don't drive Alan's car. That's his car. 26 was a really good car. You'd share 26, but 28 that's Corey's car. Don't mess with my car. So I had shorter legs than everybody, so I'd set the seat where I wanted, and I reached underneath and tore out all the springs, and so you couldn't adjust it to any other, and I put this padding in it so I could sit up a little bit higher, and everybody had their car. So there it is, yeah. Had 119,000 views. But yeah, that was my old car. That's cool that you could find shots like that.
Oh, be ready, because I'm gonna pull up a bunch of footage at times to make you be like, "What?" or like, "Ah, I forgot about that." You know,
That'll be
I
fun.
love doing that stuff.
No.
Now was that because I know there was like, wasn't it like a 350 and then like 325? I don't know the engine sizes and stuff, but they were all different, weren't they?
They had a 383 and a 440.
440. Okay.
But this car here is owned by a guy, Joe Caldwell, who's from New York, and he brought it over just to this event because they wanted to reunite me with it. And the way I knew it was car 28 is on the back of the window on the driver's side. They engraved with a glass pen 28. Yeah.
That's amazing. You look freaking tall compared to it.
Yeah, I had him put the car way in the background so I would look taller.
The editing.
Yeah.
That's a crazy green screen.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Gosh.
Now this,
Oh yeah, for my car crashing clinic.
when you go to do that in January, I'll come out there and maybe we could do like a little pod or something. Get you like to kind of just do like a little
Yeah.
pod before, then maybe after.
Yeah, and put you. That's called the brain shaker right there.
Oh, I want to get in it so bad.
It's loud too. It's loud. But I thought to myself, the psychological thing I designed that thing. It's ugly. It looks like it belongs to Fred Flintstone. But I thought, okay,
More like Freddy Cougar.
yeah, if I make it the same dimensions of a Hummer
Yeah.
or a van or a Jeep, where it's a square block, that impact is a lot worse than the majority of vehicles. And if the stunt performer can get used to that and know that the stunt equipment you're using, you're going to withstand that impact and be fine. One of the biggest challenges in performing stunts is dealing with the fear factor. Am I going to get hurt? Am I going to get blown up? Am I going to get burned? Am I going to get glass? Am I going to break a leg? Am I going to get a concussion? My head split open? 100 scenarios. In vehicular stunts, sometimes you are then involved with a timing. Like when I did Lincoln Lawyer,
Mhm.
and I had to make it look like this car was pitting me, and it was a timing thing because I had to do it between these two cameras that were down the road. And anyway, if you got broken focus because you're concerned about am I going to get hurt or not, you can't have 100% focus on your job, on what you're supposed to be doing. So I try to, by putting my students through this course, they go, oh, well, that really wasn't so bad. I don't have now, if I get on a set and I had got to worry about going between the two buses, I got a cannon roll in between the two of them, and it's a timing thing. I could be focused on my timing and focused on my job and hitting my mark and doing it at the right time and not worry about, oh my God, am I going to get hurt?
Right.
So, but then again, when you throw all caution to the wind, eventually you get bit. So you still got to be, I mean, I've been doing this a long time and I still get very, be very cautious and very
Cognitive.
aware of, hey, I could get killed. I've lost friends been killed in this industry. You never hear about it because we're not famous, but there's, I've had buddies that have been killed jumping cars and doing pipe ramps. It happens, but yeah, and it's a kind of a diminishing profession. I think we all kind of know that on the horizon. They're going to say, no, there was a time they used to take stuntmen and they'd build a freaking roll cage and put it in the car and they would drive and go do this crazy stuff. You're like, no way. Yeah, they did. So I hope that doesn't happen in my lifetime, but I think it's around the corner. But then again, we thought the same thing when CGI came around.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
CGI, what's that? Computer generated image. They'll never be able to tell the difference. That was 25 years ago. We're still doing, I've done 3 cannon rolls, all practical, real, just this year alone. Last one I just came back from New Mexico on the cleaning lady.
I was just about to say, can we, like how you sent me that one little clip, could we put just like a little preview of it maybe?
Well, I think the legality of it is once it's aired.
Okay.
Once it's aired, then you could
Once it's aired, then we'll make like a little short link for your TikTok or something.
yeah, because the producers get all. It's funny too because I'm like, well, I'm promoting your show.
Yeah. I'm helping you.
Yeah, it's giving your show, promotion. But for some reason, and we sign these whole NDAs and non-disclosure agreements, and where you can't even talk about it and stuff. But once it's aired, I think that is all lifted. That'd be cool.
For sure. Let's see. I think that was kind of it. You wanna?
Oh, wait, you just showed the Lincoln Lawyer one. Yeah,
That one?
right there. That's it. We could show that because it's already aired.
Yeah.
That was the one that was in Lancaster, California.
God, that's crazy. How like. I mean, obviously the slow mo makes it look crazy, but like real time, it's probably just like that, huh?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the aerial shots like this. What am I looking at? It's so far away, I don't know. It's
I
all.
like that part.
Yeah, that looks.
That's an amazing shot.
But the one that hurt was the last thump that they don't show. The one that was the very last, it just augured into the dirt, Because, man, when you're flipping cars, it's all about the disbursement of the energy over a great distance. You'd rather go to-tink, 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 rather than to-thump, to-thump.
Right.
You're like, oh.
Kinda like skipping a rock on water.
Yeah.
You wanna shout out your crash clinic, car crashing clinic?
Yeah, it's if anyone has a desire to learn how to crash cars in the film and TV industry, as we've said, I've been doing this for 42 years. Watched a lot of mistakes, made a lot of mistakes myself. Process of elimination of which is the best thing to do and what's not best thing to do, and all these multiple different scenarios. And right now, there's no car crashing clinic in the world other than mine.
Yeah.
I've had guys come from not Dubai. Oh gosh, where do you come? Well, I had a guy come from Berlin.
Was it somebody from Australia?
Oh yeah, Casey came from Australia. Oh, Indonesia. Had a guy come from Indonesia.
Wow.
5 airports he had to go to. But what was so funny when he showed up, because we were all there, and he showed like 10 minutes late, and I see him walking up, and I knew that was him because I saw his picture. I'm like, so as he's approaching, I go, guys, I hope you all understand. I'm really sorry about the cancellation today, but maybe in a couple weeks we could do this again. And he said, what? Like, oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Then I've had like a couple dozen people from Canada. They've come from, as far as the states, from the East Coast, from Boston, from Chicago, from New York, from Florida, from New Mexico. They've come from, I mentioned Canada, Los Angeles, all over the place, because it's the only car crashing clinic in the world to learn how to do stuff. And where else do you get to go and experiment and try different stunt seats, try different helmet restraint systems, you can't. There's no place, because just to have the car caged was $9,500. If you want to have the same cage that we use in the entertainment industry, and to know that when that thing's upside down and it's on fire, how am I going to get out of that? Well, I don't know. Have you ever done that? No. Oh, well, good luck with that. You may want to come and try it like 5 or 6 or 7 times.
Right.
And then when we start to roll it and you're kind of losing, you're disoriented, you don't know where's up and where's down, and I'm there making you panic, go, get out, it's going to catch on fire, or you're sinking, get out. And not to try to make people panic, but to be able to operate in those panicking situations where you could turn the valve down and not panic and just say, okay, I got to focus on what I'm doing, and have a methodology of how you're going to get out of the vehicle. And that's what I teach. And I also have a jump landing simulator that is it is exactly what it feels like jumping the general league. It starts out at 10 feet. It's like a collapsing table. It goes forward and comes down and lands. And I have these jump vests that we use with D-rings, like when I jump the general league. And they get to experiment with that, on how much bungee cord they're going to use based on their weight. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It took me about 3 clinics. I've had 99 students thus far, but the first 3 classes. I only take 12 students per class.
Right.
It was an education for me to learn how to teach. Well, just do that thing that I do. What's that? Well, I don't really know. I just do this thing.
Just do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. That's all I'm saying.
And yeah, it's and so then I started learning to put up all these grease boards with my notes behind everybody, because one of the things I would do is I would talk about, I only focus on certain types of car stunts. I focus on pipe ramps, rollover ramps, cannon rolls, sidewinders, and jumps. I don't talk about T-bones and all the other, there's hundreds of different scenarios, but just those 5 things. And a lot of those things, some of the same techniques spill over into the other kind of car stunt. And so sometimes I get them all mixed up,
Right.
But I think I got it dialed in a lot better than it was when I first started. Because I would look at everybody's faces and, yeah, that's the jump landing simulator right there. In slow motion. That's in slow motion. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Met a lot of really great people. Yeah, men and women. Some of the top stunt women from the film and television industry have come to. Yeah, I've always heard, Corey, about you have these ways of doing stuff, and we're just curious, and a lot of them have already flipped and crashed cars before. And like, well, how do you, like, everyone's use this Hans device. I go, that's really great. Have you been in a Hans device when you're upside down and then try to get out? Let me know how that works for you, because it doesn't. And so I unless they get a chance to really try it, and they go, oh, now I see what you're talking about. So it's yeah. So I got another one coming up on January 25th and 26th, weather permitting. I'm learning that about Texas.
Yeah, you kind of picked a time when it's probably going to be pretty cold.
Pretty cold.
Could be. Yeah, it could be frozen out there. You could go to try to flip and just freeze in the air. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Got anything you want to add to it?
No, just that I am enjoying telling stories again. This is really fun for me with you, because you actually do some research on the back and find out stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I never would have thought about that, talking about that,
Right. I mean, I've studied up on all this, I'm such a nerd. Like I was like, man, it'd be cool to make a podcast. And then I was like, man, I'd rather be behind the camera, and then that's just kind of how it all started. I did mine, we did ours. That's why when you came on, I was like, whoa, dude, we're doing it, man. We made it, we had a freaking professional Hollywood stuntman on our freaking podcast. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, screw everybody else.
You know what would be fun too someday is if we could just talk shit about the actors. I love that.
That's when you should start a Patreon, and then that way you can say whatever you want, and you can't really get in trouble, kind of thing. I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna be like, oh, he's a piece of shit who,
Well, it's like I was on the Howard Stern show. You know who he is in New York years ago, because they had found out that I did this rap song. Did you hear about that rap song, Hollywood Stuntman?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hear it? You want to play
it? And in there I say, did stunts for Cruise and Sly Stallone, but they say they did them on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tom's manager, what do you call it? Public affairs, or what do they call those people that you publicist?
Yeah, the publicist
got all bent out of shape, and then so then they wanted me to be on Howard Stern, and Robin, his co-host, she's like, well, how can you claim that you do stunts for Tom Cruise and we all know he does all his stunts himself? I said, well, that's not actually true, Robin, because I've done 2 movies. No, excuse me, 3. At the time, I'd only done 2, but I've done 3 films doubling Tom Cruise, and he doesn't do all his own stunts. She goes, are you saying Mr. Cruise is a liar? I go, I'm saying he's whatever that word is when you're not telling the truth. Whatever word you want to fit in there.
Call him a liar. I ain't calling him a truther.
Yeah, he ain't a truther. But yeah.
You want to hear it?
You haven't heard this? It's so silly, but there's backstories to the lyrics, like with Van Damme and. Where do you hear it?
You could hear it on the headphones.
Oh, well, I've heard it.
Oh, you have.
I have. You gonna be able to hear it?
It's not loud on his. I got it turned down on his.
Yeah, I don't hear it at all. Oh, little piece of trivia on this.
Oh,
Drummer on this, Ron Wixow, Foreigner, the band Foreigner. You ever hear of that? Years ago, the band Foreigner.
yeah.
Yeah. Ron
Was your-
Wixow's my drummer on this.
Yeah, yeah, on your on one of the episodes oh yeah. Yeah, one of your episodes when you're talking about that, how he was the drummer, like you kind of had like a bunch of people from different bands kind of come in and y'all made a band.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
At least you had people to do that. I was like by myself and I rapped to this guy and he was like, "Can I have a cigarette?" And I was like, "I guess." That was what I was like 17 or 18.
Yeah, we had a full-blown recording studio at my dad's ranch.
That's awesome.
I mean, Bernie Tompkins.
Does your dad still have the ranch?
Pardon me?
Does your dad still have the ranch?
No.
No? Okay.
You know who Bernie Tompkins is? Wrote the majority of Elton John songs, like Rocket Man and all those. He'd come over. David Crosby lived down the road. He'd come over. Jimmy Messina from Loggins and Messina. He'd come over. There was a band in Santa Barbara called Dishwalla. They had one hit called Counting Blue Cars, which was a great. They'd come over and they would rehearse. Oh, Tommy Aldridge, drummer for Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
He'd come. He had a 16 kit dual drum 16 cymbal drum set that he'd leave there in the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, just 16 cymbals, two dual, because he would go in there and record shit.
Did you ever get any pictures or anything? Maybe we could put them up for the people to see.
I might be able to dig some of those up. Yeah.
Can I hear it? I forgot I had the playback speed slowed down, so that's why it was.
Oh, and Ron Wixow edited this together. I just handed him a whole bunch of stunt footage, and he just went and cut this all together.
Yeah, when I was listening to the podcast and you were talking about this, I was like, no way. I stopped the podcast, went onto YouTube, and was jamming this at work. I jammed it like for like an hour or two. I was just like,
went straight to ER.
Because I push my luck.
Did stunts for Cruise and slashed alone, but they say they did them on their own. I make flicks with Howard, Carl, Wu, and Lee, and that's right, I'm the one who jumped at General.
Yeah, I forgot I worked with John Lee. Ang Lee.
Broke bones, burnt flesh, blown out knees, crashed 2 helicopters through the trees, jumped a horse.
how many of these stunts were, or how many of those stunts
were there?
That
was it.
No, that was it.
Yeah, there's probably a half dozen. There's me.
Yeah, that one was from
Nope, not the skirt. That wasn't me.
no, but the being dragged like that.
Yeah.
That was on
Force to Kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone else. Corey, these aren't all you. Yeah, I didn't work back when film was black and white. I may be old, but I'm not that old.
You're like, I've worked with film, not black and white film.
Damn. That's me there, jumping. Thomas C. Howell.
Like, see
Thomas Howell? Yeah.
Ratchets, rams, and cable fell 25 feet through a breakaway table. Midnight run.
That's me there on Fall Guy.
Ain't nothing they could dream of that I
That Jeep
can't
that
do.
you saw tumbling. Went to the hospital on that one.
Sean Penn, I can tell you right now, they're all my friends. You think you're bad?
Sean
Think
Penn,
you're
what a
bad
jerk.
as me? Think again. I'm the one who jumped at General.
said they were your friends.
Yeah. I know, it was a lie.
Hey, Seagal,
There's another jerk, that Seagal.
Bird.
Idiot.
Yeah, I heard he was like with the stuntmen and stuff like that. He would actually like hit
Punch
them.
'em.
Yeah.
And if you watch all his movies, he never receives a punch. And he would really hit the stunt guys.
If I was the stuntman at that time, they'd be like, cut. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, Steven. And be like, oh, what happened?
Here's a quick story about Steven Seagal. My son and his son were both on the same football team. And Kelly LeBrock would go, Steven, never go watch his son play football. So they're in New York, in here. Hey, Seagal, take it from me. You better stay away from Chuck. I mean, hey, Van Damme. No. Hey, Seagal, there ain't no doubt. Gene LaBelle, yeah, he choked you out. You know what the backstory is of that? Gene LaBelle, 5 times on the cover of Black Belt magazine as the toughest man alive. I'm working with Chuck Norris, who could do a push-up and push the world down. You've heard that? Yeah. And he said, oh yeah, Gene, you don't mess with Gene LaBelle. So they're doing a movie in New York. Gene LaBelle and Steven Seagal had never met. Seagal learned from the call sheet that LaBelle was wanted to meet him. So they went, got Gene and brought him, and they're meeting outside on the sidewalk outside Steven's trailer. Nice to meet you. And I heard a lot about you, blah, blah, blah. And let me ask you, so what would you do if a guy did that? And Gene's like, I don't want to really do that right here. I'm at work. And he's like, well, no, I just, if a guy got you in and started messing with, so Gene kind of took him, give him a little wrist thing. And Seagal's like, well, that's okay. I would just do this. And he went to slap Gene in his balls. And so Gene did what Gene does, and he twisted his neck and he choked him out and laid him on the sidewalk where he wet his pants. And yeah, so now he's fired from the show.
Of course.
And this story just explodes like a freaking wildfire. Everyone hears about it. I was supposed to work on that show. So my name was in production's computer system or whatever, but I never worked on it. So I didn't even know about this until the publicist had called me or somebody. So, Mr. Eubanks, I want to let you know that, you will be sued by Mr. Seagal if you talk about what happened in New York. I go, what are you talking about? What happened? When he got choked out by Mr. LaBelle. I go, I didn't know that till you just told me. And I didn't work on the show, so you have no legal restrictions over me whatsoever, so I can't wait. I got to hang up. I got to call some friends of mine.
I got to go post this on Twitter.
Yeah. So that's how. So now my first wife and I are in this little diner in Los Olivos where Seagal lived with Kelly LeBrock, with Kelly in the San Ynez Valley in California. And off to my left, I see them. They're not far away at all. The door is like straight ahead of me. So we're going to get ready to leave. And as soon as we start to get up to leave, I go, hey, Gene, hey, LaBelle. And I see Seagal, look, like, we're. And I get up, and my wife's like, who's LaBelle? I go, let's just go. Just go. Got up. Go. Let's just go.
That is amazing.
Well, listen, this was a lot of fun. I look forward to doing this again.
Of course. We can do this every Friday if you want.
Yeah.
And save time every Friday if you want.
Let's plan on it. Let's plan on that. What's this next Friday?
28th, yeah.
Yeah. How about that?
3 days after Christmas.
How about that? Yeah.
Or 27th. No, 28th, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 28th.
Whatever it is, that works. Let's do it.
All right. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. On Stunt Stories.
It's recording. It's ready. Yeah. It's just ready. Like, this will just be kind of like, as soon as you're ready to go, then you're
okay.
golden.
I'm so used to it. And we're rolling.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Lights.
Yeah.
Camera.
Yeah.
Film.
Action.
Yeah. Digital.